Hey everyone, Arbiter Wolf here with another weekly video. So this week was practice week, and I started with Choming's videos. I started doing the front head with the tablet. I did last week the front head on paper, and I wanted to do it on tablet because my tablet skills are not translating from paper to tablet. I thought this would be a good way to re-go over things and also focus on trying to improve my tablet skills. So if you don't know, the two heads on the left are more of a realistic head style, and then the ones on the right are a more cartoonish style. And I thought the tablet time doing the front heads went pretty decent. I do think that for the more cartoonish style, I used a Bleach character called Rukia for the reference. And I wouldn't say that she looks completely correct in terms of style. I think a big thing that I'm going to have to learn when using his way to draw the head is when to deviate from that cookie cutter head look. So with anime in general, there's a lot of different styles, and the way to draw a character with the Choming heads will definitely look different. But I do think what's good about his heads is that it kind of gives you a general idea. It's just that now I need to kind of start trying to figure out how to look at the style that I'm referencing and combine that with how he puts heads together. Moving into some more practice here, so I also did the side heads on paper for Choming's videos. I use this template. I'll say for this, I was having quite a difficult time trying to do the side heads. I think one of the big issues for me is when you are trying to draw from like the forehead to the nose and then getting to get the proportions to look right. But I have to say one thing, it was really just the nose. The nose just looked weird every time for me. Not just like kind of like looked weird, but also just kind of felt weird trying to do it. I couldn't quite get it right. But I still kept going with doing the heads, and I think I'm just going to need a lot more practice with doing the side head. I feel like I'm getting the front head down pretty well. It's just the side head I'm going to need to get that nose and other proportions to kind of look right. I will say this for Chilling's videos, it is really nice going through his videos because it's kind of easier to draw along with. I will say actually it is kind of a benefit that he speaks in Korean and I'm reading it through subtitles because it makes me focus more on what he's saying and then things kind of click a little bit better. Overall, lately, for just practice in general, I feel like I'm still not getting enough time. I'd really like to go more in depth into his videos. I'd like to go and get through multiple head poses and then also just getting through different figure poses and trying to be able to draw the body and head all combined with one. I think a really big problem is that I am not the best with time right now. I'm currently working 11-hour shifts from Monday to Friday, and then I do 6 hours on the weekend. So I'm trying to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get some more practice time in, but it is rather difficult to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, especially when I have to be at work at 6 o'clock. But I'm trying. I don't think I get quite 2 hours every single time. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just trying to just get the brain moving, or I'm sometimes just snoozing my alarm. But I can say that I'm at least getting an hour in before I go to work in the morning. That kind of leads me into where I feel like my biggest thing is that I need to improve at for time. I feel like one, I'm leaving a lot of big time on the table when it comes to the weekends. I feel like I could be getting a lot more drawing time in. And I think a lot of it is just when I go on the weekend, I'm just like, oh, okay, it's time to relax. I have time to do this. I can do this later. And then I end up not getting a whole lot of drawing time in. The other thing, too, is that I feel like I could be taking more advantage of just small pockets of time, maybe get like 5 or 10 minutes of drawing here and there. I think the problem is that when I do have that 5 to 10 minutes, like what is my go-to thing to try to practice and draw? And I don't quite know yet, but I'm hoping to kind of get better at trying to figure out what I can do in these small pockets of time. Moving into a different practice area, this one's my course that I'm doing, and that is Drawbox. And what I can say right now is that I'm not totally in love with the exercise that I'm doing for his lesson right now. Sometimes I feel like his lessons and exercises, one can be like, oh, that seems like very hard and difficult, and I feel like that would be useful. And then sometimes exercises is just like, not sure about this. The one here is basically I'm drawing boxes and I'm having them intersect. And what I'm supposed to be doing is drawing the boxes going into other boxes. So I would pick a box that's intersecting and then I would kind of try to outline kind of how it would look as it goes into the other box. Honestly, I didn't do a great job with this. And for his other exercises with this, it's not just going to be boxes, it's going to be like spheres, it's going to be cones, and it's going to be cylinders. I feel like that would be a little bit more easier of a time trying to get intersections to look right when I try to draw them. I don't think I did a great job here, and I'm hoping with the other exercises that I can make that look a lot better. Also, I'm going to re-review his lesson and kind of see what I missed. The big thing I would say though with his lessons is that I'm just feeling like maybe it's not the right thing. I'd like to get through at least the lesson that I'm currently on and kind of judging off of that of whether I want to keep continuing with this. But that's currently what I kind of have in the back of my head when going through his lessons. But hopefully things are going to change and maybe I'll enjoy some more of his lessons and see that things are getting a lot better when it comes to learning from his material. Now, the last thing that I will leave you guys with is my wonderful comic. Now, I will like to say that this was not done during the practice week. This was done the previous week, so I have not applied any of what I was practicing this week for this comic. It was all done the previous week. That being said, I feel like I need to possibly improve the dog. Now, if you don't know, I actually was just not going to improve the dog at all, and that was going to be his character. But currently, I think it's just so bad that I just can't keep trying to draw this. I mean, it is really nice to kind of cheat every single time. Like, I just draw some horrendous looking dog every single time for like the panel, and I'm like, yep, on to the next one. But I probably have maybe surprised some of you that I was kind of like not trying with doing the dog. And I feel like if I keep like having to explain that I'm like not trying with the dog every single time, it's like not really that funny of a joke. So instead, I think what I should probably start doing is trying to have this very simplified version of this dog. I was thinking more of like a dog that kind of looked like the one from Minecraft. That way he's still kind of fugly looking and kind of fits kind of how we looked. But I feel like I should at least try to improve him while everything else is trying to improve, including like the characters, which I feel are steadily getting better. Now, I may not do this until like the first arc is done, which is coming up pretty quickly, so we'll kind of see. The other thing too is that I think I should also be kind of drawing my characters a little bit more and understanding kind of how they would look in different positions, which I feel like I should have done that beforehand, but I don't know. I just didn't cross my mind to think that maybe I should draw my characters multiple times to kind of get a general feel and not draw them for like the first time as I'm like trying to draw it in the comic. Seems kind of silly, but you know, I mean, we're only on week 121. So these are just some of the things for the week that I kind of did, and overall, I felt for the week it went pretty well. There's still a lot of improvement that I need to keep going at, but overall, I was pretty happy with this week. So if you guys liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Thanks.